No
Okay,
Love on the left
we
side of
are.
your
Let's.
screen. Pleasure Castle on your right. Nos is looking at his settings first before he goes in.
Hey, you
No,
know
we're in
what?
the very first stages of the
It's
game, and
important.
oh no, oh no. No Love has forgotten to put creatures on ENF. This is going to be a huge disadvantage for them, not even in power, but in levels. And I think that's what we're going to see No Love is going to be doing a lot better in this fight, but right now Nasa's really doing a lot of damage. HK going to hunt down the
Hmm.
enemy's HK. And I
Yeah,
think better positioning is actually going to win this fight.
yeah. It's interesting to see
Oh,
that.
excuse me, I had it backwards. Yeah, it was going to go good for Pleasure Castle. And I think we saw partway through the levels making a big difference.
Yeah, not having those 2 points being summoned, being captured by No Love here on the left side of your screen is just really important. Unfortunately, Roland going to go down to the Pleasure Castle's title there. And just big shout out to Team Pleasure Castle, who did actually win the tournament at PAX East. But they made their own T-shirts. They made their own freaking T-shirts. It was pink T-shirts with Sharpie castles and stuff drawn all over it. It said Pleasure Castle.
There was some serious hype for this
that,
game.
that was like the best thing that could have happened at that tournament. I don't even care if they didn't win, still the best team. Just an amazing group of players there. But we do see Nasus here on the left, Title on the right. And Nasus is going to get picked off just a little bit there. Nasus has a really cool spear throw that does a lot of damage right now. But
It's surprising, yeah.
yeah, he can almost play like a ranged character, but then you have characters like Voda and Amani they can out damage him really easily.
Yeah, definitely. It's more of a thing where you're waiting, and Pleasure Castle is really letting them right now. They're hanging out in their point.
Hmm.
They recognize that they have the power lead, and they say, you know what? We're willing to get this push on the cheap, and we're just going to hang out next to our bloomer. You're not going to be able to push us in because we have the constant healing that it's providing.
Oh, HK on the left getting a little bit too antsy there. He's going to try and go in. This actually might be horrible for him. If he overextends even slightly,
Ooh,
he
nice
will.
mortar. Going to throw him back.
It was a very nice mortar, but man, he scared me for a little bit there. Like
Yeah.
HK, just his sprint is really good. He has a lot of mobility, but unfortunately, their Nas is going to go in completely obliterated by the enemy team Pleasure Casual. We do see Taito here on the right trying to go for that trip, but going to go right back to where his teammates are. You see Pleasure Castle staying as a team, so important in Canyon.
Charnock is making this whole turtle strategy really viable
Mm-hmm.
because they're ahead in power. Like I was saying, they're content to just hang out on their point next to their bloomer, and Charnock is part of what's making that possible with his extremely high DPS. They can't go in as a group; they're going to get AOE. They can't go in one by one; his DPS is too high, and he's in just the right position. However, because they've turtled. No Love has gone in behind enemy lines and taken out one of their creatures, which is a huge boon for them.
Yeah, I mean, decapping a creature this early on not only
Come back.
not only sets the enemy team a little bit behind because they have to waste another summon, but they have to waste time. And we see No Love actually doing a pretty decent job at mopping up some of Team Pleasure Castle right there. But unfortunately, it looks like in that team exchange, Pleasure Castle did get the better end of the pie.
Just a little bit. Taking out that Cerberus was a huge boon.
Yeah.
And that, more importantly, the push is coming out now, but so much of Pleasure Castle is dead that they're not going to be able to take advantage of it.
And it looks like they know that. I think they're just going to go for the next closest point, possibly put another summon on there, possibly a bloomer, or even possibly a Motigan to give them a kind of a damage boost to try and hold a little bit better.
If it was up to me, I wouldn't summon anything. I'd say, you know what? We'll take it. We'll back up. We'll upgrade our points. We have focus from that last fight.
Yeah.
Just get your creatures upgraded before No Loves.
That's I 100% agree here. But we do see Taito trying to actually go for the wound there. He might actually get this. He has that focus available. Is he going to use it? Doesn't even need it to. So he... Okay, so what Taito did was really important there. He didn't use his focus. He could have and got it quicker, but he's going to save his focus for team fights or possibly an upgrade. And that was just so smart.
Yeah, that was really excellent play. And that, I think, saved this lead for Pleasure Castle. I think that move from No Love was really good, but Taito alone saved them from losing that lead.
One interesting aspect is Pleasure Castle does not have a trip, but the Team No Love on the left does have a trip. And we're not seeing Trip back cap as much as she's able to. In Canyon, she's able to traverse the map really quickly here. And it's really important for Trip to always be back capping, but she's just not filling that role, mainly because I honestly think because of the Charnock at this point.
Charnock is a really strong anti-back capper. He can put a lot of damage down really fast. He can stop trip. He can zone an area so well
Yeah.
with his little meteors. It makes a big area of damaging and slowing, and it's really hard to make anything happen. Now we see Trip moving in. She's going to be able to take out Roland, it looks like, in just a moment. There we go. So
Yeah.
Trip making her first major play of the game.
Go Trip, yes. Now we do see on the left side of the screen here, Nas is trying to take out a significant portion of Team Pleasure Castle, but he's going to be forced to back out once again here. He's going to be chased. Sven needs to turn around and kind of help his teammate throw down that heal, but I don't think Sven's paying attention right now.
He's pretty safe right now. Sven, I think, can get out of here. He's been saving his... Yeah, he has the stamina for it. He used it. Trip can get out of there as well, even though they're low health. That was a pretty low... Honestly, no, all things considered, a pretty low-risk engagement. And I think the team composition of No Love is really geared toward a low-risk engagement.
Yeah, I mean, the Sven, I think, is an interesting pick, especially. Sven is just so squishy, but he has those really kind of like high escapes. Team Pleasure Castle, I mean, though, is just their comp is just so solid right now. I mean, Roland,
it's solid and they're playing it.
Yeah, they're just completely controlling the map. I don't think No Love really knows how to really kind of deal with the pressure right now, mainly because they have a lot of squishy characters and not enough upfront characters.
Yeah, what do they have? Do they even have an HK?
Unfortunately, due to the UI that was recorded, I think Trip Gnosis, Sven, Roland, and maybe an HK I think I've seen.
I don't think so. I think Gnosis is pretty much their beef. That's what they've got, and it's really difficult for him to be the sole
HK
sole front line. Okay, so they do have an HK. So HK is going to help a little bit here, but between those
Roland, that Gnosis, oh my gosh, what a quick save there by Sven. Yeah. But unfortunately, Roland goes down, but he's able to take out Gnosis, which actually was going to help them in that team fight. Unfortunately, Trip not doing a lot of damage here, but we do see the Taito possibly almost go down there. Very, very close there.
From the Bloomer.
Yeah, the Bloomer just is keeping him up there. Sven actually being focused here by the Roland. Can Roland get it? No, the Rot kind of gets in the way there, but nice kind of predicting where that Sven's going to go. Unfortunately, Sven probably could have went a 180, healed himself, and just been... probably was able to get away with there. Taito trying to chase Trip here on the right side of the screen. That usually doesn't end well because both are just so mobile.
Yeah, you saw Trip backed up into her team, going to be able to get out of there. Still, though, Taito, I feel like Taito's doing a lot more work than Trip in this game. He's going to heal up and going to be able to go in this moment. And never mind, Mortar knocks him out. He's going to have to back up. There's going to be a 4v5 fight for Pleasure Castle.
Yeah, and
5.
Yeah, yeah, see that Charnock, as you were saying, was able to just zone that No Love team out just completely because they were kind of at that choke point. Charnock was like, okay, I'm going to do hot hail and just be like, hey, meteor shower, woo! And
this is going back to what you were saying. Yeah. Charnock is doing way too good of a job of zoning.
Especially in Canyon. I mean, Miss Forge, he does a good job as well, but there's open areas, but you can dodge out of it a lot easier. But in Canyon, some of the capture points just have so many close things. Again, Charnock just completely laying suppressive fire damage onto the entire team of No Love right now. He's just doing he's just doing such a good job.
He really is. And I think that between these two, the Charnock and the Taito have been the really big power players so far. Taito got that wound. That's like the big thing that he's done. He's struggled a little bit doing anything more. He's been good at picking people off and doing that. Charnock, on the other hand, has been constantly making these team fights. Look at the damage he's putting out on this Cerberus alone. And now here comes
HK has his focus, though. They're going to have to be real careful. They're going to have to be real careful, though. Team No Love does have that focus on the HK. Unfortunately, he doesn't use it. That would have been a really great time to use it.
Maybe he didn't have. You saw that point is up on a hill, and HK usually wants to fire his focus downhill. So I think that was fine saving it for now. They need to use it.
Oh, Nas is overextending here on the left side of the screen here. Going to be taken out by HK and pretty much all of Team Pleasure Castle at that point. It was interesting that Nas kind of went in there. Sven completely overextending there. He does have a small amount of HP, just barely missing. Never mind, he's dead. Never mind. Okay. So what happened there is Charnock used his Flame On ability, which is a giant frontal kind of AOE kind of flame wave. Sven barely missed it, but unfortunately walked into it and died. So whenever you see Charnock's Flame On ability, small rings around the fire there on the ground, don't walk into it. You will die.
Not always, depending. If you can get through it fast enough, you'll usually be fine. And I don't think he's opting for the meteor upgrade this time. I haven't seen it.
I've personally, I don't like the meteor upgrade because it feels too slow. I'd rather just have the extra damage and the range.
Yeah, and we've seen it so far doing a lot of work, but his left click has honestly been the thing zoning people out. He took the upgrade that allows him to
Yeah.
upgrade it to rank 3, gives it more AoE, more damage, and it makes him really scary to engage on. And we see him now popping off some scary shots, just keeping them away. Right now, Team Pleasure Castle has 4 points, and they are content to try to hold them.
Yeah, we do see Sven actually at the top there, left side of the screen, doing some good AoE damage, but Taito comes in and just completely decimates Sven. HK doing a lot of work there, doing a lot of good AoE damage onto the No Love HK right there. Trip, unfortunately, didn't do much in that engagement. Trip, I mean, look at the level difference here as well. Trip is, for an assassin, Trip is really kind of dependent on certain abilities and upgrades, especially in Canyon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's not like Griselma, who only needs 2 levels. Assassins generally aren't that way. Assassins really need those levels. I'd say they hit their prime in mid-game.
Mm-hmm.
They can just hunt people down so easily. They're generally like a level or 2 ahead, and those levels mean a lot more in the mid-game, I'd say. But Trip, like you said, she's way far behind. She hasn't been involved in kills. She hasn't been backcapping. She hasn't been getting those kills. And so she's a little bit of dead weight right now for No Love.
Yeah, Trip is just one of those characters that's really, really difficult to do well on Canyon because of the close quarters. She excels better at just kind of an open area. And, we're going to the Clash once again. The Clash is you actually get double power if anyone on your opposing team dies. So kills and kind of team fights are just so important during the Clash.
Mm-hmm. And we see still Pleasure Castle playing aggro. They've taken the hill. They don't. I honestly, I think that No Love should just like go around and start taking the creatures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. The Naga there for Team No Love just actually assisted in killing the Nasus for Pleasure Castle here, and Trip actually trying to go up and steal power, but it's not going to be enough. I really feel that it almost is too late right now. Like the Naga power bar is just so low. Stealing power at this point is almost detrimental right now, just because of the way that Trip is designed it currently. I'm not really sure what I'm saying here, Fourth.
Well, what you're trying to say is that right now she could. What I think you're trying to say is right now she could be doing better things with her time.
There we go.
Trying to take the other team's creatures.
Yeah,
There's
very
still
important.
them on the field. No Love has none. This constant power flow has got to stop, and Trip has got to be the one to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to say, and words just would not come out of my mouth.
No, I got you.
I got you. I got you back.
I got you, homie.
Yeah, okay.
I'm so white.
I'm so sorry. That will never happen again. But we do see Sven throwing down a nice heal there. Now, Sven still has not really used his focus from gaining it the last time. And one thing that Nolev has done very, very incorrectly is not upgrade a lot of their creatures. Tidal doing a nice kill there onto Trip, using that spin ability to try and find where Trip is. Even though Trip's invisible, you're still able to hit her. Sven actually almost surviving there, dropping down that heal, but not in time.
Yep, too many people from No Love have dropped. Pleasure Castle has the push, and I think this is going to be game. There's nothing to stop this wound. Guardian's vulnerable.
Charnock also has his focus.
Right there. That's their big DPS, and yeah, Charnock has his focus.
Boom!
Immediately.
Yeah.
Tons of damage coming out, and that's going to be that.
Yeah, so I think one of the key factors here that you really pointed out, Fourth, is Trip being dead weight. And it's really, really important, as you said, as a Trip player, to understand the map and understand where your points are to leap, use your electric slide, which is the Q ability, and just make sure that you're on point with just decapping, and decapping.